So I'm back, and because this incredibly long road trip to TFCon is extremely boring, we've decided that we're going to go over the viewer responses on the New York City Comic Con video I posted yesterday.
True story.
And yeah, and what horrible state was that had nothing but fireworks and porn shops?
Oh, Missouri.
Yeah.
It's like every billboard was for a porn adult superstore or some fireworks. Sometimes both.
Buy one, get one free on everything.
One, I think, actually was like a buy one, get six. That's kind of shifty. So I'd probably buy from there first.
And there was even a billboard for buy new dentures for $99, cash only.
Same day delivery, though. True story.
Anyway, so Tommy's here. He's going to read off the viewer responses, and I will respond to them. And Tom, go.
The Darth Rancor. I'm with you on the Galvatron. I did pre-order the DX9 and can't wait to get my hands on it. I do have a question related to the party releases. What are your thoughts on the 3 third-party Hound figures all coming out around the same time? Since I started to watch you, I've come to really trust your opinion, and I was just curious what you think. Love the rants. Keep up the good work.
3 Hounds.
Yes, what are your thoughts on the 3 third-party Hound figures coming out around the same time?
I know there's the Make Toys one and the TFC one. I didn't know that there was a third one. I can't remember who that would be. Unless you're referring to the recolor on the Make Toys one. Anyway, my money... Right now, we've yet to really see TFC do anything good with Masterpiece yet. They've done some good combiners, and those are better for Chug than Masterpiece. So until we see TFC really excel in the Masterpiece, I'd hold off on getting any of that. So Make Toys would be my bet. But then MP did tease a blacked out Hound a couple months back, so we might be seeing one of those soon too. So I might wait, but if you're gonna pick from the third party, I'd go with Make Toys.
All right. Moving on. Jeff Perrin. Well, Megatron came out and was repainted / retooled into Armada Megatron. First in that trilogy. So Galvatron into Energon Megatron would be my guess. In Cybertron, his version was a triple changer, but this figure lacks a car mode. So I went to that KFC blaster, but waiting for red plastic. Not that flaky chrome paint. Bad enough that it's on my Jetfire's weapons. MP Soundwave and Prime both size up really well together. Either will do.
I didn't know Cybertron Megatron was a triple changer. I knew he turned into a piece of shit car, which made no sense whatsoever. Because he was a tank in the first show, and then the sequel show he was a big jet, and then the third one he was a car. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. If we see that, it would probably be in the third series. So we'd have to wait to see what happens with that, I guess. And yeah, I think the leader class blaster is going to scale pretty good with the with MP as a stand-in, because that KFC with that flaky chrome just I don't want it.
Next up, OKU. 2016 is the year of Hollow Arms. About Soundwave or OP. I think you should save your money and buy some new molds.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of hollow bits.
I don't even know what that means, and it sounds crappy, personally.
Yeah, they're making them a lot thinner, so that you can use less plastic to make them less bigger. And I hear that they're actually going to make them even bigger next year, so they're going to be even more hollow. So that's something to be kind of about. But yeah, Yeah, I think a lot of people will want to just save their money, but for me, I just buy them so I can review them at this point. So,
All right. The Fluffy Hub. The third line in the trilogy could be called City Wars, and they could come out with the city Transformers, including Metroplex, or they could have a continuation of Titan's Return and come out with the biggest characters in the TF universe.
yes, but yeah, I wouldn't get my hopes up on that, because when they first announced that they were going to do Titan Wars next year, everyone was like, and Hasbro kind of pointed it that it was going to be Titan class figures, and now we find out it's not Titan class figures at all. We're going to be lucky if we get one Titan figure this year or next year. So I don't think they're going to be doing all the big bots. Maybe Power Masters or something like that. Maybe Mini-Cons will return or something. I don't know. I would not get my hopes up for City Bots at all.
No hopes for City Bots.
Not a whole line of them anyway. One or two here and there.
All right. Nightwing #1. Are you going to stop by Bobby Skullfaith's booth?
Most likely.
Easy enough. Transformers 758. I have to say, none of the figures screamed awful, but a few things on Galvatron bugged me, and Blaster was so close, but not quite there.
I agree. None of these figures are perfect figures. I think these are better representations of what a budget collector would want in their collection. Rather than spending the $150 or whatever for the KFC blaster that's gonna chip and break on you, you can buy the leader class blaster for $50 until a better company comes along and does it. So, it's like, if you don't have enough money to buy the Unique Toys Galvatron, who's $100, then you can buy this, Voyager Galvatron for $25, and, he's more of a stand-in than anything. That's how I always feel about most Hasbro stuff these days.
The Darth Rancor. For the comparison, I'd say Optimus only, because he's the basis of the current MP scale. However, I own Sound Blasters and I love him, so I wouldn't fault you for picking him up. You'd also be able to add Rat Bat to your collection as well. Whereas both Optimus only comes with a clear trailer.
Well, the plan is to get like an extra figure, I guess. So, probably the Optimus would be the best one to do the size comparisons with, I'd say. I think there's a fire over there.
Is there? Fire. It's kind of hazy. Possibly a fire. We don't know. Moving on. I get distracted. Bear with me. So next up we have Muba Chum Chum. I wasn't going to get the CW Autobot repaints, but I bought the Prowl as a stand-in for Sweetwise in case I couldn't get one. Also for the comic. But then I thought I could customize them into other bots as fillers.
See, now that's a good option there. You can customize them into something else. But I just don't think they're good representations of the characters that they're meant to be. That was what we were talking about earlier about the Ironhide that looks like shit.
Are you talking about the red one?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was telling me about that. It sounds like a pretty crappy idea.
Yeah. So, if you got an idea of a character that it actually fits better to, then yeah, I would say that's good custom fodder.
Alright, stand by. I'm taking my sunglasses off because reading in the car with those on is causing an issue. So next up we have Mr. GC Hero. One complaint: you're fine with Galvatron being a headmaster and plan to keep him in that mode, but have a problem with Cyclonus / Skylynx / OP. Why don't you just keep them in their robot mode? You seem to have a big problem with it in your reviews.
So the problem I have with it is the fact that the Galvatron looks good because he's sculpted as Galvatron, whereas Optimus Prime is a retool of Motormaster, even though Optimus Prime came first. It was very clearly a retool of the Motormaster mold. Same with most of the other Combiner Wars Autobots. They're all retools from existing Combiner Wars figures. So I thought of an analogy of something to think about. Kind of put it in terms of what I'm thinking of. So say you're going to a dealership and you want to get a good Dodge
Challenger. Hellcat.
Challenger?
V8.
Charger.
Sorry,
Dodge Charger.
Oh, Dodge Charger.
So you go to the dealership to get a Dodge Charger. And you're sitting there, okay, I want my Dodge Charger to have the V6 engine. So they're out of those. So instead, you end up getting a Dodge Avenger. And it's got the same exact motor, the same V6 motor. So you're pretty happy with it. It's not quite the car that you're going for, but it'll do for now. That's how I feel like these headmasters are. Whereas the Combiner Wars, you go to the dealership looking for your Charger, and instead you come out with a Ford Pinto painted like a Dodge Charger with the Dodge logo stuck to the side. It's not a Dodge. That's the best analogy I can think of.
Stand by. I lost my spot on the comment list. There it is. So next up we have Lego Bad Wolf Productions. We have Ultra Magnus, Springer, RC, Blur, Cup, Blaster, Wreck-Gar, Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge updated. We need a new Rodimus for Chug because the old one is too outdated and too small.
Agreed. A good substitute for that would be the Cloud Rodimus, if you can find him for a good price. I know he goes for an insane price now, but if you can find him for like about $100, he's an excellent Rodimus Prime. I really love that figure. Great paint detail. Also, the Masterpiece Hot Rod figure that's coming out could be a good stand-in for a Chug Rodimus Prime. And I think SXS is doing a Hot Rod figure that's going to be a large Voyager. So again, there's another option. So I would look into those, if you need one. But I don't see a new Rodimus Prime for Chug coming out anytime soon, just strictly for that.
Junk Garage. I am really looking forward to Titan's Returns when he was a I'm just going to start on that one. I am really looking forward to Titan's Returns. Then I was Combiner Wars. My wallet is going to hurt. On Blaster size, while in the show he was never taller than Prime, the toy was huge. So it's one of those I can live with the Blaster being taller.
Yeah, it really depends on what your personal preference of scale is. I don't want to get into a scale argument again, because everyone has their own opinion on scale.
Are scale arguments a frequent thing?
Yeah, I'm always arguing with scale, because there's G1 cartoon scale, there's G1 toy scale, there is robot mode scale, and then alt mode scale, and everyone has their own personal preference on the scale. So if you're okay with him being bigger than the rest of them because you're sitting there saying, oh well, the toy was bigger, then that's great. For me, I think he's too big for Chug, so I'm going to be putting him in my MP collection as a stand-in, and that works for me. So whatever works for whoever, however you want to do it.
Last but not least, Charles Larson. I prefer Optimus for comparisons, mostly because I have him and not Soundwave. But I also heard that all current masterpieces are built to his scale, so we might as well go with the standard.
That was the last one?
I believe so.
Alright, there we go. Okay. There's a couple others I missed. But they're short ones. So yeah, I think I'll get a second MP10. I don't know if I'll get a KO or the Year of the Horse. I'll just try and find one cheap, and that will be my size comparison for MPs. So I'm time to explain what I'm talking about. So I've got 2 different scales going when I do my reviews. If I'm reviewing something that goes to the classics, I've got classic figures the smaller ones. And then when I do the masterpiece scale, I have masterpiece figures. And I want to have secondary figures for the reviews so I don't have to keep taking them off my shelf. So,
Makes sense.
So my question I had asked them was, should I get a second Optimus Prime, or should I get a second Soundwave and use one of those as scale comparison? Everyone seems to be wanting to go with MP Optimus. So.
And I apologize about the comments I missed. I thought they were already replied to on the YouTube channel via the comment section below. I did not think that it was.
Hey,
going to
it's
be a
his
video.
first time. I think he did a good job. Let's give him a round of applause.
The sound of
Nobody?
crickets. All right.
Nobody?
I like the sound of crickets.
So anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be at TFCon tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. If you guys are gonna be there, look for us. You know me. You know what I look like. Son!
That's really bright. Oh my lord. Oh my god.
All right.
I can't help you here.
All right.
We're gonna go now. Bye.
All right.